Okay, so we're going to grade the front first. We've got our X going through the fold line where the facing folds back. So this section folds back and sits here. And the Y going through the underarm. We've got our grid here at the neck. And same as what we do on our basic bodice block, we're going to increase the height of the neck by 6 millimeters. So 1, 2 lots of the grid, 6 millimeters. We're marking in our notches at the same time because they're going to stay in the same position for all sizes. We're going to make the neckline wider by 3 millimeters and mark in the corner of the neck and the shoulder. Another 3 millimeters in the width of the neck, shoulder. So -6 and 6 is where we're sitting now. This corner here can get marked. For the notch, we need to go back to 0. So back to our starting point, but still maintaining the 6 in width. Marking in that area there. And then the next at the underarm is the total amount of 12.5 millimeters. And we mark in the underarm. And I'm going to mark in the notch for the dart as well. Then side seam, we've got 3 millimeters in length between the underarm and the waist. So marking in that notch at the waist, and then another 3 between the waist and the hem. Still maintaining that 12.5 width. Going back to the starting point on the Y axis, marking the width of the facing here at the hem, and then I'm going to go back up to this increased neck height and increase this way in the negative for the facing. So we're already -6, now we're going -3, and just making sure that we've got that even all the way through. So here we go, -6 and 3, and I'm going to actually do that all the way around, blend back in here into the neck curve, because we don't want this facing width here to get any bigger for all the other sizes. We're just going to keep it the same for each size. Then we can connect up the points, straightforward on the straight lines, on the curved lines, just placing the block halfway between the two sections that I've marked out, and then blending the lines together. Now, one more thing I've got to do is my notch, my drill hole for the dart. So between the centre front and that dart point, there's a 6 millimeter growth, 3 through the neck, 3 through the shoulder. So 6 millimeters away from the centre front is where I want my drill hole to be. So that's it there. Okay, so that's one size bigger. Oh, forgot to mark the neck points in. So blending again for the neck. Bit fiddly. Okay, one size larger. Now to do one size smaller, we need to go in the opposite direction. So where we made it a -6 move to make it bigger, we'll go a +6 move to make it smaller. So there's my original starting point. I'm going to go down 6 in the positive direction, mark in my neck and the notches. Then I've got to move in a -3 direction to mark in the neck corner with the shoulder, and then another -3, mark in this corner, back to the 0 line, still maintaining my -6 width. I'm marking in this part of the armhole, and then I need to go out the total amount of 12.5 millimeters to mark in my underarm, which should be sitting on the same position essentially as the others. Down the side, shorten the side seam by 3 millimeters between the underarm and the waist, and another 3 millimeters between the waist and the hem. Back to the starting point for the width of my facing, and then I'll do the neckline on the facing itself. So I drop down 6 here and go 3 in the opposite direction to what I did for my larger size. And I mark all of that corner there. So that's the facing width remaining the same and blending back in. So again, joining them all together. Blending those curved lines is a little tricky. A bit of practice and you get there. There. And the last thing I'm going to do, well, no, 2 last things, is put in my dart drill hole. So this time there's 6 in this direction, negative value, to mark in the drill hole, and then I'm going to blend the neck edges together. And of course that's 1 size up, 1 size down. If you were going 2 sizes larger, you would double the values, 3 sizes larger, triple the values, and so forth. Okay, that's it. Front finished.